Hey everybody, Michael Wildcat Creek doing a 100-hour in the field review of the Fisher F22. Let's go over a few things here. This is just, my experience metal detecting. I've been metal detecting since I got a BFO metal detector in 1965. Went to a TR detector in the early 70s. Went to a VLF in the mid 80s. Had many. I've owned over around 24 metal detectors. I've got a list here somewhere, all the metal detectors I've had. I've had some real turkeys, some that were terrible. I've had some top-of-the-line metal detectors, but I've had a bunch of them. And I've been detecting for 56 years. I've found everything you can imagine. I haven't done YouTube till late in my metal detecting activities here. So y'all missed out on the main slice of the pie there, okay? But Fisher F22 costs like $220 today, is like June the 7th, 2021. You can find them for like $220. Comes with a 5-year warranty. I don't work for Fisher. I have no monetary rewards from YouTube, from Fisher, or from anybody. I'm just an end user. I'm just a metal detector guy, okay? I don't sell metal detectors either. The main thing with any VLF metal detector, any of them, doesn't matter. Know your detector. That's the main thing. That's why I waited 100 hours to do this review, and I could probably wait 300 hours to do a review on this detector, because it's a lot more. Looks so simple, actually very complex, and I'm still learning tricks with it. So if you follow my show, you can pick up on some of the stuff I'm picking up too. First of all, let's go over what I don't like about this metal detector, okay? And the number one thing I don't like about this metal detector is the battery compartment. See how I've got that taped down? This piece here just slides out when you get it untaped. But it almost comes out with just about no force whatsoever. Leaves your batteries not exposed, but unprotected. The number two thing I don't like about this metal detector is this is, to me, I don't know, just to me, this is not a very robust piece here to pull the batteries out. And I'm not going to pull them out, because something else that you learn from experience on this detector, when you pull the batteries out, even though your detector's turned off, you pull the batteries out to change the batteries or whatever, when you put the new fresh batteries in, your detector turns on by itself. So, if you're not paying attention, you put new batteries in, and you set it in the closet or something, it may be sitting there running. So make sure, just realize that. And this piece here, stouter battery puller, and this piece here is something that needs to lock somehow, not just be slide in and out, because I have lost a battery compartment, over the years, different styles of battery compartment pieces like that, and you lose it in the field, and next thing you know, your batteries are falling out. These probably wouldn't, but a lot of the other detectors, it's a problem. Need to get a click on that there, Fisher. And that's the two main things I don't like about this metal detector. Now let's go about what I do like about this metal detector. And the number one thing I like about this metal detector is it runs on 2 AA batteries, the most common battery on earth. You can't put zinc, regular zinc batteries, you can't put heavy duty batteries in there. It needs to either be alkalines or rechargeables, and I'm starting to run just rechargeables in this. They're doing great. Alkaline, a couple of times I got on alkaline batteries, I got 35 hours, and that's not even using the headphones. I was running the external speaker. You probably get 40 hours running the headphones. The manual says around 30 hours. I don't don't know. My experience is different. I think parts of the manual are actually written for the F44 instead of the F22. You know, the cover sheet isn't. But this doesn't have a backlight, and it talks about the backlight in here and some other features that are only on the F44. So the instructions are kind of, you know, geared for the F44, changed around different cover for the F22. They're very close. This has preset factory ground balance. I'm good with that, okay? Of course, the AA batteries, it blows every other metal detector on the planet out of the water on battery supplies. I think even the ones that, you know, charge on household current with the built-in batteries, those have their own problems. And if you'll look at the forums, the guys that have those detectors, they're like, OMG, what am I going to do about this? And yeah, okay. This has, you just replace the batteries when it goes down. And you got a chart in here, tells you when to replace your batteries right here. And I took AA converters and ran AAA batteries in this. I got 10 hours out of some rechargeable AAAs that were not top quality. But moving right along here, another thing about this detector, lightweight. This thing only weighs a couple of pounds, and you know, they give a weight in here, and I'm sure the weight's for the F44 because they give the same weight for both detectors online. Well, that can't be because the F44 has an 11-inch coil. This has a 9-inch coil. You know that the coils don't weigh the same. So therefore, this is lighter than the F44. I don't have anything to weigh it with, but I'm happy with the weight. This is one of the lightest, hardest hitting metal detectors I've ever owned. I like that. Another thing is pinpoint on this is very accurate. You know, forget your pinpointer. You probably don't need it if you have enough experience spotting stuff in the dirt. Beginner may still need a pinpointer, but you know, I don't use one. I've tried them. I've tried to use them. I have, and just forget it. Doesn't fit with my style of digging at all. And you know, this pinpointer on here does everything I need a pinpointer to do, and it's usually right where it says it's at, unless the coin's like on edge. And when the coin's on edge, you'll get off. You just have to scrape around and look for it. But that's true of just about any metal detector. When the coin's on edge, you're not going to get a, you know, good precise pinpoint on those. Depth indicator on this is very accurate, and in fact, if you've seen my videos where I'm digging, I keep the motionless detector button push, which is your pinpoint button, and keep on until I get the lowest, the most shallow reading, and that gives me the exact precise spot the target's most likely to be in. Also on pinpoint mode, guys, I've been relic hunting, and you know, years ago, and you got a VLF. Well, it's a motion detector. You got to keep it moving. Well, on pinpoint, you don't have to do that. You can get in real thick brush and stuff, put it on pinpoint, and just scoot it in and out around there, and you got a whole different hunting mode there. It's non-motion VLF, and give it a try if you have one of these. If you're relic hunting in thick brush, the other detectors can't get in there, and if you're using this properly, you can. So that's a big plus for this type of detector here. Okay, another thing I like about this is the readout is a big screen. It's easy to read out, and I get, you know, nickels versus pull tabs. My digging style is I dig nickels, usually quarters. Sometimes I'll dig pennies and dimes if there aren't many targets. But when I'm digging nickels, I still get, you know, nickels come up at 34 on my detector. 34, sometimes bouncing to 35, but right in that range. And pull tabs come in at 33, pull tabs come in at 36. So I can separate that out. Well, why is that important? Why am I worried about a nickel? I'm not worried about a nickel. What I'm worried about, what I'm concentrating on, what I'm actually looking for are gold rings that read in the nickel spectrum. And that saves me digging tons of trash. I cover more ground. I get more good targets. And I'm just digging the nickels and whatever gold rings fall in that spectrum, which in reality, you know, they have a chart that shows you, well, this gold ring reads here and all the way down. And I'm walking over gold rings, but I'm digging about 60% of the actual gold rings out there with just digging the nickel signals. And I'm good with that. That's part of my digging style, and that's the way I do it. This detector has see-through capability in iron. I think I've demonstrated that on some of my videos. You go back, the nail board test and other tests that I've done with it, especially when I first got it. And I've done some digging around old places and dug high conductive targets that were in close proximity to iron. And when you put it in artifact mode, it's got 4 modes. Artifact mode gets your iron signal, it's there. And you can hear a higher conductor bleeding through on iron like a nail. And I've dug several coins in just very close proximity to nails in the same hole. Very impressive. It does have see-through capability in a nail field, and I used to enjoy that kind of digging. I don't anymore, but this detector could fulfill that type of digging activity. If you're you know, digging in a iron-infested area and you're looking for higher conductors, you might want to check this one out, the F22. Another thing about this detector is this coil, and this is a, let me get this straight, they got a special name for this coil right here. This is a triangulated, concentric, elliptical, waterproof search coil. And you can tell here, it's not round. It looks kind of like an old iron. Picking up my ring there. I got it turned on. Ring's a high frequency sound, of course, it's silver ring. But, you know, this search coil here, I love this search coil. I'm getting good depth. I've dug several coins that were 6 inches around here. That's good depth because we're in a lot of rocky terrain. This thing, you know, you get a sweep that's kind of like the keel of a boat almost here, going down in the ground. So you don't have to overlap as much as you did with the old concentrics that came down more like a cone, and this one's more like the keel to a boat. Different electromagnetic patterns to the coils. That's why the coil's shaped like this. So you don't have to do all the overlapping. I can cover more ground than I can with a round concentric, and it's close to a double D, but it pinpoints like a round concentric. Bingo, bingo, win both ways. I like that. You can also get other coils. You can get a double D coil. There's aftermarket coils. A lot of the Bounty Hunter and Fisher coils swap around, interchange. You just have to look and see. But you have options on the coils. If you don't like this coil, you know, I'd give it a year before I even thought about swapping a coil, but, you know, whatever. You do have that option. Let me see here. It's got an overload warning. I like that because a lot of digital machines, you can't tell how big a target is. If you go over a massive target with this, bam, it lets you know real quick. You don't need to be digging it. And I've got big chunks of iron and sandstone, some of the places, some of the parts there I dig in, and it'll hit that overload signal on there. It doesn't hurt the detector or anything. It just lets you know that there's a very large piece of something or other in the ground there. Unless you're looking for very large stuff, you probably want to pass it up. But if you're like digging for cannonballs, some artifact like that, you might want to investigate. Just keep that in mind. This is rain proof. I've taken it out one time, hunted in the rain, no problems whatsoever. You know, we used to hunt, we just cover that, we start raining, we cover our bag with our metal detector with a plastic bag. Of course, we didn't have the visual IDs, and just running by tone back in the day. But I really like the fact that I don't have to worry about even doing that. You know, get out in the rain. That's an added bonus. Of course, the coil's waterproof. This is rainproof. You drop this in the water or something, it's toast. So, you know, you want to hang on to your detector, and it's not waterproof. It's rainproof. The coil is waterproof. You can stick this thing down in the water, you know, like that deep. You're good to go. But you get this part wet here, you're in trouble. Okay. I'm beach hunting with this. I have not been to the beach yet. I intend to go with this. Dry sand, great. Okay, wet salt sand at the ocean beach, this works in that. I've seen them on YouTube videos. There's a guy that does a YouTube video detecting, metal detecting Crete, the island of Crete in the Mediterranean Ocean, which has a higher salt content than the Atlantic or the Pacific. So, you know, he's detecting in really high salt content wet beaches, and he does real well with an F22 on a lot of his videos. So, I know it wouldn't be a problem detecting in the wet salt sand, but to put this coil into salt water, which is a conductor, and completely surround the coil, it's probably not going to work. It doesn't work on most VLFs. I have one VLF detector. It doesn't seem to affect, but I'm sure it would take this one out of action. But, you know, hunt up to the water's edge, no problem. Just letting you know, fresh water, you can immerse the coil. It's not conductive like salt water. So that would be no problem. It has 4 modes. You have jewelry mode, you have coin mode, you have artifact mode, and you have custom mode. Okay, jewelry mode. Jewelry mode is unmodulated audio. Okay, that means you're getting the straight sound. It hadn't been conditioned or worked with the electronics. You're getting straight from the ground, kind of like the older VLF detectors. And you get, to me, it's louder, and I use that. That's my go-to hunting, you know, mode is jewelry mode, just because of that. But when the ground's wet, and you know, I'm starting to get because I've got some pretty bad ground here. It used to be iron mines here. It's high iron content. So when the ground gets wet, I go to custom mode. So jewelry mode's when the ground's dry, and if the ground's too wet, I go to custom. But I really prefer to hunt in jewelry mode, and I've got certain segments blocked off. Watch my videos, you'll see what I've got blocked off and what I'm running. Wet ground, you get false signals. You're going to get some false signals because it's unmodulated. False signals in jewelry mode. So you have to, you know, have enough experience to not dig those signals, okay? If you don't get a repeatable signal, it's working on the house here. If you don't get a repeatable signal, you know, it's probably a false signal, and you have to get used to that. Excuse me. Okay, in coin mode, it comes from the factory, and I think segment, the iron, I believe the iron's cut out on the coin mode factory setting. Number 2 is like foil, and that's cut out, and number 4 is cut out. And you might want to kick 4 back in coin hunting. That's the way it comes set up is basically if you're hunting clad coins, new coins, but if you're hunting old coins, be aware that segment 4 needs to be brought back online, because Indian head pennies right around 47, 48, and that switches in segment 4, okay? And silver nickels run on 44. So, you know, you may want to bring 4 back online if you're hunting older places. And then artifact mode, you've got iron on up. It reads everything. You get everything. And that's good. That's why it's artifact mode. A lot of artifacts are made out of iron. So, you know, that's there. If you want an artifact hunt, you got a preset to do it. Bang, hit it. Okay, now, custom mode. I've got custom mode set up my style of digging, which is usually, in custom mode, you get to set your tones. It's a quarter, high tone and nickels, I want to pay close attention when I get, even when I'm tired. I want to be very alert, not just hear a low, low tone or something like that, that if I'm tired, I may just skip over or whatever, or not really catch it. This is special. Got the duck quack. Now that's the VCO mode that they usually have set in iron. Like if you go to Artifact, tells me I've got a nickel signal, something in the segment 3, and then I'll check it very closely. That could be a gold ring, and that's why I've got it set like that. And I love that feature. It's only in custom mode that you can do that. And Artifact mode, unmodulated audio, you're getting the straight turkey there. Coin mode, Artifact mode, and custom mode are all modulated audio. So kind of smooths it out for you. Just depends on, to me it depends on ground conditions and basically how wet the ground is too. Just it can overload jewelry mode. But anyway, it's got, you set your sensitivity. I can set my volume, which has a different volume. You have to look in here. It's like split volume at one point. Up to I think 10, you have you don't have iron, but from 10 up to 20, you've got iron comes in there. So you set it where you like it, and I like to set it around 15 if I'm looking in iron, because I get a that high conductor sound with the iron. Lets me know there's something in the hole there with something that's iron, probably. And you might want to give that a try. That's the see-through. And sensitivity, you got 1 to 10, and I'm running 6 or 7 most of the time. Sometimes I jack it all the way up, just depends. And then you got your notch. You can notch in or notch out, whatever segments you want. I usually knock silver dollar out. There's no silver dollars where I'm hunting, okay? And you get a wrap around. It's not a straight line. Discrimination's a circle, okay? And big iron can leak over into the silver dollar. See what I'm saying? From down here up to here. So I notch out silver dollar. I'm hunting 6, 7, and 8 are open, and I got 3 open nickels, and I'm actually looking for gold rings. So, about every, I think it's 185. If you dig 185 nickels out in the wild, one of those nickels, the laws of probability state it will be a gold ring. So, keep that in mind. And the gold rings where you really get ahead. Now with this detector right here, I got this in August of 2020. My wife gave it to me for a birthday present. Uh-oh, telephone. Hang on, guys. Okay, guys, sorry for that interruption. I'm back. Wanted to say, I've been digging with this. See here, August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June. That's 11 months. Yeah, around 10, 11 months. But this has been the COVID season. I haven't been out to dig nearly as much as I usually do. I'm looking at my records. Looks like I found around $50 in clad with this detector so far. And I got a real ornate silver ring that was, made by a Native American ring maker. It's got turquoise on it, and it's got a value of around $85 to $100. So, and I'm over halfway the machine paying for itself, and I'm loving it. I really like this machine. This is a good match for me for the way I hunt, and with it being light like it is, I can hunt a lot longer than I could with a heavier unit. Just without the exhaustion factor working in. So I'm looking forward to taking this to a beach, seeing how I do. later on in the year, you know, we get to the stormy season, I'll be headed out somewhere, do some beach hunting to give this metal detector a try. Other than that, you know, you might want to consider an F22. Just saying, check it out. You know, if I have any more groundbreaking discoveries, I'll share them with you in my videos. But it's a great machine. I really enjoy hunting with it. Anyway, that's the end of this video. I got more stuff coming. Hope you guys are doing okay, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.